On the Barry Media Show now, the business management and social sciences graduate, the volunteer, the visionary, and the leader, Issa Kuyate.
This image, it's not a really good image for Senegal, for Africa, for the world. Because I was,
Yeah, I understand, man. You don't have to. That's if you want, I can give you a minute.
yeah, and they are sleeping, in the nets, down on the floor, no doors, no windows. There was just an abandoned houses because they know who I am. I was just coming, like, with my clothes and everything.
All next on the Barry Media Show. Welcome to the Barry Media Show. My name is Mamadou Barry. Our guest is Issa Kuyate. He worked in several different positions in Senegal. Now he is the president of the organization called Maison De La Gare. Thank you, Issa Kuyate, for sparing your time for this interview. I really appreciate it, and I do appreciate the time. So, how are you today? How's everything today?
I'm good. I'm very good, thank you. So,
Uh,
Mr. Barry, um, just wake up and I'm still on the work. So yesterday I go in bed very late because it's every single day it's a time for the boys. So I'm wake up again and I have to do more than yesterday because everything is like that. But I'm fine. It's my job and I'm okay for that. And I'm very proud to be here in front of you and telling you what I can do or what I'm gonna do in the next. But by the way, and I wish you a happy New Year because today
Thank
is I
you.
think the last day for the year. So
Absolutely. Absolutely.
thank
Thank
you
you.
so
Thank
much
you.
for inviting me. Thank you.
Oh, it's a great pleasure for me. Thank you so much. Thank you. I'm very appreciative too for you sparing your time for this interview. Seriously, I went through your website. I glanced through it and I read it. And to tell the truth, I was so fascinated. It was great, and I read your roles. I read your role. I read the roles about your colleagues. I read the volunteers. It is just fascinating, man. And but reading about the children, it was kind of heartbreaking for me. And I'm going to give you the chance really to talk about that for those who are listening, for our audience. But to tell the truth is fascinating, and I wish there are a lot of people like you out there. It's just a great job you're doing, and keep doing the great job you're doing. And thank you very very much for the time. Thank you so much. I went through your website and glanced through your role. Now you said that you have been involved in your organization for many years. Can you please tell us what your organization is and how did you get started?
Yes. I'm not from Saint Louis, but the organization is in Saint Louis. But I'm not from Saint Louis. I'm from Dakar. But my first time when I was here in 2006, it was not. I was not coming from Dakar to Saint Louis to open an organization. I was here for another job. By the way, I was in shock when I met first the first day I'm wake up in Saint Louis and meet all these boys without clothes, like no shoes, dirty, and I was like I was thinking I'm in another country. That's why it was a shock because people around me was just walking around, going to do their activities without seeing what was happening, what were the real problems. People was just going to their job, and the job was just in front of them. This is what I was looking for them. I was different, and that's why I was just saying how people like European, how people like American, how people like coming abroad can feel when they come first and wake up and see all these people working by themselves to do their activities with the all like the boys, the Talibes around them. It was an image that they never, feel. I was just in shock. That's why my first impression was, what can I do? That was the first that I arrived in Saint Louis and all this, and I say, what can I do to change this this image? It's not a really good image for Senegal, for Africa, for the world, and that's why I start in my mind for 2 years. I was just you know, working in my house. My house was a shelter. I shared with the boys everything, food, beds, everything that was coming in my house. This is how I start with Maison De La Gare. And at the end, I'm just saying, okay, I'm working in the hotel uh, to do restoration, and sometimes the food in the hotels was just throwing because it can do 2 days, and after 2 days, the food is not good for the hotel. But for me, it's good because I was just eating it, and I was just storing this food because it's a heavy food to bring it in my house to make more, toast it in salt or peppers, everything, and put it in the breads to give it to the boys around the city. And this is how the boys know I can give them food, I can feed them, and they come every single day. They was coming in my house between 5 p.m. to 7. They was waiting me when I finish my job, and I come with bread through. The beginning was just 50 breads. At the end, like just 2 weeks, I start with two or 200 breads with sandwiches and give it to them. And my house was full of Talibes. And my neighborhood says, okay, so you are very starting to bring out in our city noisily. Taliban is not really, they are beating in our kids. They don't want our kids come to pick up breads in your house. So can you change the place? This is how I changed my house to bring it to the station, like the train station, the final train station. And here is everything started now. I was just going there. It was big and very empty, and boys was just around. And this is how I start with Maison de la Gare, because La Gare is like the station train, and at the final station, here is everything started. And I start to bring them food, to give them education with boards, blackboards, and write it down, to teach them in French, teach them in English, and doing sports and activities start. But no papers. There were just activities with them. And here is everything started now. For 2 years, between 2006 to 2008, nothing was happening, only giving them food, to do some action, to change their clothes. There was no water in, there was no, toilets. There were just two blocks of room where they can do in classrooms. And at the end, I changed a place to say, okay, I have to concrete this association. I have to make now something concrete. And I moved from the train station to get a space in Saint Louis. It's the new one, like where we are now. And they started now to build every single year something until the center get concrete, to have a shelter, 3 classrooms, a bibliothèque, and a room of informatic, like a room of healthcare, and a room of tailor. This is how Maison De La Gare opened, and now it's here, and I'm proud to do that. It's take a long time, but we can do it. We can. It was a possibility. It was not impossible, but the possibility is now. The impossible is not possible, and that's why now I'm proud to open that, and it's helped every single day. Uh, 100 to 150 boys, and every week we can record in the center 700 boys who come to have something to do around activities or something else. Here is right everything.
Wow, wow, fascinating story. Oh man, fascinating story. I have some chills, listening to this story, man. It just prove it just it just proves that you're a good person. Thinking about like helping people who really need help. That is a very very good thing. You know, by the way, for everyone who are listening, for everyone listening right now, we're talking with Kuyate Isa Kuyate. We're talking about the help he has been providing for the Talibe Street children in Senegal. And he has been doing it since 2000. You said 2006 or 2007?
2007.
So prior to 2007, you were just doing it as a volunteer, like trying to like just help out until the idea came, and then in 2007 you created the company. Is that the case?
Exactly.
Yeah. Wow.
Mhm.
Interesting.
Mhm.
So for those who are listening, just to clarify a little bit, we're talking with Issa Kouyaté, who is in Senegal. So you're saying that you're in Saint you the organization is in St. Louis, not in Dakar.
Mhm.
Is that the case?
Mhm.
So how
Yeah.
is so for Dakar is the city of Senegal, and St. Louis is another city
Senegal.
of Senegal, right?
Yeah.
So now, can you explain how far St. Louis is to Dakar, and where do you live currently?
Okay. Saint Louis was the first capital of Senegal. Saint Louis was the capital of like colon, like the French colon was in Saint Louis, and Saint Louis was the capital of West Africa because French colon was in the history was the leaders of uh, from the Haute Volta to like West Africa, all the West Africa, and after that the capital moved from Saint Louis to Dakar. And how far? It's about 5 hours by car going to Dakar. It's about 275 kilometers from Dakar to Saint Louis. And Saint Louis is a historic capital because the colon let buildings, and its capital also are very Islamic because in Saint Louis most of the erudites of the current, like the Islamic leaders, was coming to Saint Louis because Saint Louis is, when we talk about geography, Saint Louis have two different kind of water. It's the river and the sea. And most of the times, people who are meditated are just looking this country because they have a place where people who are spiritualities are looking this place because it's the confrontation of two different water, the salted water and the tap water are confronted. And most of the time, when you are talking with all the people, they will say to you, Saint Louis is like uh, the way for everything that you're looking from the water, you can come to Saint Louis because everything that you need by spiritualities, by meditation, it's in Saint Louis, here in Senegal. It's the capital of the key of the meditation of spiritualities in Saint Louis. So that's why Saint Louis was historic, and also most of the times the areas of currents was coming here, and that's why people who are meditating or people who are teachers, Quranic teacher, most of the time they come from Mali, from Nigeria, from everywhere in the world to come here to Saint Louis and get some knowledge from the roots of Saint Louis and go back to to where they come from. But now there's another kind of activities who happens behind the real activities of Quranic teacher. This activities is coming from Gambia, from Bissau, from Mali, around from Senegal also. But most of the time, people who are coming here in Saint Louis and saying, I'm just a Quranic teacher, are coming with a group of person. And when they come, it's another kind of work they are doing. They are exploiting these boys. They are hiding themselves in the Quran, but what they are doing in reality is not teaching the Quran. It's about other things. And this is why the center was open. And we are returning boys to their families. This year, we returned about 975, something like that. If just yesterday, there was 2 boys who have to return to their family, just yesterday. And at this moment, we are almost 1,000 boys who are returning to their family. And it's still, emergency to find out the boys who are sleeping outside, because there's lots of shelter in Saint Louis. There's only 2 or 3 shelter here. And if you are going outside, you can find more than these 3 shelter. Boys are sleeping out. Boys are running away from their daughters because they are beaten, because they are asking them, they are forced them to beg. They are asking them money, a quarter of money. And all of this is happening. And it's a huge. Boys, in 2016, we did a recensement, and there was 14,779 boys, 779 Talibe who we recensed in $126.
Wow.
But now we are doing the final recensement this year, and it's almost done because people are still, like our members, colleagues are still walking around the city to calculate it, how many boys in like 4 years we have right now. This is where we are. But most of the times, people are coming around Senegal to come here in Saint Louis to learn Quran.
Wow. Wow. Oh, terrible, terrible. I feel so bad for these Talibe Street children. For my audience, for the audience listening right now, can you explain what Talibe Street children are? I know you talk about it briefly, but can you explain exactly what Talibe Street children are?
Talibe Street children is about 9,000.
Yeah. So what is Talibe Street children? Like, what is Talibe Street children? Can you explain?
Talibe Street children is like boys who are just getting by himself food, by himself clothes, and when he is very sick, he have to come in our center. If you were not here, most of the time they can die because the Marabout don't do anything about. So most of the time when a Talibe gets sick, the Marabout bring it in our center. And if we ask him, can you do something like a short, just a little percentage to help the boys? They say, no, we don't have it. We don't have anything for that. Their family send them without paying money. so we don't have any money to to care the boys. You
But
are
then
open the
is
center, you
there
don't have a shelter.
but
So
then the same
this is
boys,
Taliban.
but then the same boys are those there are the one that are going into the street asking, begging for these marabouts, right?
Exactly,
Is that what you're saying? But
exactly,
when they get
and
sick, no one no one takes care of them. Is that what you're saying?
exactly. This is Taliban. Street Taliban. Taliban street Taliban is boys between 5 years old to 12 years old, 15 years old, who can,
Wow.
you know, walk by himself. He have to go out to the dars. The Marabu only care one thing. The Marabu give them shelter, and the shelter is sometimes an abandoned house. There is no doors. There's no toilets in. There is no beds. They are sleeping in the nets, and sometimes when the net is just done, they can sleep down on the floor. This is what is happening. So that's why it's quite difficult to say what Taliban means, because Taliban means someone who are like a student. But here we change the word of Taliban to say Taliban is a street boys, but it's not. Taliban is not a street boys. Taliban is a student. But the Marabu make something new, like street boys, and these street boys are calling Taliban, because these street boys are coming here to learn Quran, but they are not learning Quran. They were supposed to learn Quran, but no, they are not learning. They are going out 8 hours a day outside, looking about money for the Marabu, looking about rice for the Marabu, looking about candle or something, chicken. All these people are giving to them. They bring it to the dars just to be proud to give it to the Marabu, because they are intimidated. So that's why they are try to care themselves by giving the Marabu more than the Marabu ask. And each one of them have to give money. There is a quota of money they have to bring by force. So this
Wow.
is what is happening, and this is why we are fighting to stop this kind of activities. And most of the times, Marabu are so rich, because most of the time Marabu have one or three houses, and they
Wow.
have three wives, and they have cars. They are doing, it's a kind of business,
It is a
and
business.
no one can do anything.
It is a business. That's not that's it sounds like a business to me. Seriously.
Yeah.
That is interesting. Well, statistically, as an average, what is the percentage of the Talibe Street children in Senegal in general? Do you have an idea? Like,
But the idea is, we cannot
I
calculate
know a
it
couple of,
exactly, because
I know a couple of years ago, Human Rights Watch explained there was at least about 50,000 children were subjected to abuse and exploitation by their teachers in Senegal.
Mhm.
The number should be higher by now, isn't it?
Yeah, it's higher.
Yeah,
It's
I,
higher now,
I bet.
because the Human Rights Watch calculated, but it was in 2016. Now it's heavier than, it's worse than worse, because the government cannot take any decision. It's another kind of situation between the government and some of the religious chief, who's just saying we have to. There is a problem, just like a month, because they find a dollars where there was uh, quite five boys who are chained. They chain their feet, and this problem happens near a big region of religious thing, a religious way. But the Marabout says, I cannot tell anything until the trial take the decision, the final decision. When the trial took the final decision, the Marabout did not say anything. And some of the times here in Senegal, most of the religious chiefs are very big leaders of changement, because we have Touba, we have Tiwawan, we have lots of confréries, and this confrérie are not all together. They are not working all together because each one of them are looking who is the best. This is what religion is in Senegal. We have lots of group of people who work all together by family, and most of the times they say our parents, our grandparents were the best in Quran. They are not all together. And the situation everywhere where you go, Quran, Islam is the same. But here in Senegal, there is quite a little difference of who is. It's not like all the times the same, because you can hear by walking outside on the streets. Sometimes these people who are in the other country will say our leader is the best. This other one will say our leader is the best, and this is how the country are working all together. There's no possibilities to keep them all together in the same, box. Each one of them have an idea in Quran and a philosophy in Quran, and they can say, my way is the best from your way. And this is why it's quite difficult to resolve this problem. Every time when we take a decision to stop begging, most of the time the leaders of Quran come again to say, no, we have to change this possibility because they are getting money from the possibility of boys who are begging outside. This is
Yeah.
why.
Yeah, religion is one of those things that are very sensitive. Like
Exactly.
it's you're kind of like on the edge because you have people like, strictly religious, and you have moderate, and you have people who are not religious at all. And then you have all these people together. Everyone is like have their own everyone has their own belief, and
Mhm.
you have to be like really really aware about these things. It's a very sensitive things, and Dakar
Exactly.
and Senegal actually is one of those countries in West Africa where the religion is like taking um, highly, like it's one of those countries in West Africa where the religion dominate a lot of things. Like everything you do in your daily life, religion is mostly part of it, and that you're saying that is kind of like really, in a way, getting in the way of like resolving things. Is that the
Mhm.
case?
Exactly. This is the case.
Yeah.
And also, there's something uh, coming from the society, because everywhere where you go, the society is the most of the time can be, if the society was all together, the community, if they was all together looking in the same way, that was a big force. But sometimes the society is divided by these religions and divided by the government, and now the society don't have any force to take a real decision, because the society was everything, because it's the society who can vote. But if there's a decision of the society, no possibilities to vote a real vote for these boys.
Oh man,
What I'm
I
looking
feel
for
I
is
feel
how.
for you. I feel for you, man. I feel for you. I can understand completely the situation you're going through right now. So,
Mhm.
I'm gonna jump into another question that I want to ask you. How do you get the Talibe Street children to trust your organization and want to leave the streets? Because I know, obviously, with all the situation they're going through and all of that, but also you're saying that they're afraid of their teachers and all of that. Like, how do you get, to gain their trust?
Okay, so it's a really hard work before everything, because I was.
Yeah, I understand, man. You don't have to. That's if you want, I can give you a minute.
I can. The first time I was just sleeping in the dark to understand what this boy can feel, and then the first time when I was just coming in the doors to say, okay, I have to stay the night because it's very late. It's just a decision I took. The boys was just in shock. They was telling me, no, you cannot sleep here. You will be sick tomorrow.
Wow.
Yeah. And they are sleeping, in the nets, down on the floor, no doors, no windows. There was just an abandoned houses because they know who I am. I was just coming, like, with my clothes and everything, talking with them, making tea, you know, talking, laughing, and it was very late. Some of them was just starting to sleep, and I said, okay, let me take a place here and I can sleep because I live so far, and tomorrow I will wake up and go back in. They said, no, you cannot sleep here. I say, why? The marble allows. They said, no, you will be sick tomorrow. It's very dirty.
Wow.
You can feel how.
They're themselves, they're aware of the situation they're going through. They understand.
And that's why sometimes they are trusting on you when you meet them everywhere on the streets, when they can telling to you, when they want to tell you, like something very stronger, like a sick. There was a boy who urinated blood, and he was hiding. He was hiding like a month. But one time, he just come to me and say, "I have a problem," because he was quite old. He was 17. I said, "What's happened?" He was saying to me, "I urinated the blood." I say, "Oh, but you can go to telling to the doctor. It's in the center." He said, "No, I'm it's a shame. I don't want it." I said, "No, okay, no." And now I understand how do they give me, they trust on me about everything they want to do. Sometimes there's a boys who come to me and says there's a Talibe like our Marabu keep in the room. He hide him because he was beating him, and all his bag are very, you know, everything is so. There's the wounds everywhere. It's an infection. He's screaming every single night. But the Marabu was saying we don't have to tell anything to you. So I just telling to you that because he's there and he's in pain. So you have to to care him. But don't say it's me who telling. I say no. Yes, I know. And this is something who are coming by a link, because I make this link so far. When I'm outside to wake up a boy, and when he saw me, he just said, "Oh, Isa." I said, "Well, you don't have to stay here. It's dangerous. It's dangerous. You are outside. You know where the center is. Everything, when you have problem, just come in the center, and we will, resolve your problem." They say, "Yes. Okay, let's go." And he wake up and follow me. There is never one boy who say no. All the times they can say yes, let's go. Most of the times there are younger boys who are between 5 years old to 6 years old. You have to take long times outside. Sometimes I'm outside between midnight to 5 in the morning because there's young boys who don't want to go in the center. They just, say no. And you have to keep them very good in their mind to say, okay, let's go. And at the end they say, yes, let's go. We can go in the center. You will be safe. And at the end, this is why we return to their family, because I promise them, you don't have to return to your daras. You don't have to return to the Marabu. You don't have to return in your teacher. You have to return to your family. And I promise that. That's why I keep them out and drop them to their family by the trial, by passing by justice, making papers to protect myself and themselves, and return them to their family. But you have to work very hard to get this trusted. It's
Yeah.
very hard.
Yeah. Wow. Oh, chilling stories, man. People like you need to be known by everywhere, by everyone in the world, man. You're doing a very good job, man. And one of the reasons why I'm so pumped and so, happy to have you on this show, is because I saw a video of you, where I saw you, and you were helping these kids, and I looked at you. I'm like, wow, you are doing a good job, and people need, to know more about you. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
and that's the reason why I decided I wanted you on the show so you can explain this. And for everyone listening right now, Issa Kuyate, he's the president of the company, the organization. Is it NGO? Is it a
NGO,
nonprofit
yes.
or
Since
nonprofit
like
organ?
for
It's a
4 months.
nonprofit organization,
Yeah.
and you can, visit his website. It is www.mdgsl.com, right? Is that the case?
Yeah.
Maison De
Hmm.
La Gare. What does the SL stand for? I know MDG.
Saint Louis.
St. Louis. Okay, okay, I got it now. Yeah, I'm gonna put I'm gonna put on the website on this, for those who are, watching later on. But I just have another question, a few questions that I want to ask you. Um,
Hmm.
so for these children, when they come, what you do, you kind of like, take them to the hospital if they need, and then take them to the parents. So is there a predetermined? I know, like, this is a rhetorical question, but like, can the children stay in the center for as long as they want, or the point of the whole uh, organization is to have them come in, stay, get the treatment they need, and then do some paperwork for the transition to their parents? Is that how the organization works, or what? How does that work? Can you explain?
Okay. So when we keep them out from the streets, the first is effectively we can see how the first thing is if they have problems, medical problems, and if they don't have it, we change them clothes quickly. But it's 2 in the morning or 3 in the morning, they have to go in the bathroom to 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 wash to wash themselves, and after that we change them clothes. And if they want to eat, it's night, we can give them food and they can stay. The following day is the first approach, because we feed them, uh, we give them some activities to do, and we talk with them about history to change their mentality. And after 3 days, investigation is still going out. We are calling the RAD, we are calling marabouts, and we have 5 marabout facilitators. These marabouts can sometimes come in the center and talk with them and ask them by Polar, because they don't sometimes speak Wolof, they speak Polar, and the marabouts are coming to speak with them to facilitate the situation. If they are in front of them a marabout, they can be so, opening. I don't know how, but maybe they are afraid, they are scared about marabout, but they are so opening to tell them everything. And these marabouts also use like peace. They are coming to them, talking with them, tell them you don't have to, be scared. You are here in the center, and the center is protecting you everywhere where you go, because the center is working with justice. And so now you can be so safe here. So tell them everything, and you will return to your family if you want, and never the family will give you return you back to the Daras, because
So, so those marabou are hand selected by you guys. Those marabou
exactly,
are the ones you guys trust.
exactly,
So
exactly,
those one are the ones that have proved themselves to be
exactly,
trustworthy, and you work
exactly.
with those in order to make the transition easy for the children from
Hmm.
to leave the center and
Hmm.
go to the parents in a safe
Exactly.
and organized and well thought out way, right?
Yeah, this is
Okay,
this is right.
I see.
This is how these are working. So they are working really good, and they are in in link. They make this link in all together in Saint Louis with all the marbles. These five marbles know all the marbles. They are opening doors everywhere where they go in Saint Louis. We have marbles who are very, enemies with us, but from these marbles they can facilitate it us to be close to these enemies marbles, because sometimes it's very difficult, if we can it's very difficult, it's a difficulties if we can go by ourselves to talk with a marble. They will say no, don't come here, because they don't want what we are doing. And if we use these facilitated marbles, it's so easy for us. So that's why we use them and return these boys. And it's very, very difficult, but we can do it.
Yeah. No, I
And we
mean
are doing it.
you're on the right track. You're doing a very good job. You're on the right track, and the more people listen and people hear about your story, I mean, the more they want to help. I mean, it's just a good cause. I mean, like every person, everyone who has like a good heart want to
Hmm.
help. Like this is the type of organization you want to put your money or effort in, because obviously of the good cause behind it, So are the parents of these children all happy about what you're doing for their children, or there are few that are not happy? I'm just curious.
Yeah. Sometimes parents are not really happy, because parents are sometimes with the marbles, because parents think they are living so far from the village, and when it's dry season they don't have anything to do. So that's why they send these boys to the daras. But they are looking from the marbles what their children are doing, like the quota of money, the sugar, the rice. They can have some quota of sugar, some quota of rice. That's why, I mean, parents are working with the marbles all together. They are waiting the marble give them a box of rice and 100 of kilos of sugar, and sometimes 10,000 of money coming from their kids. This is how it's a lobbying are working all together.
Wow.
And sometimes it's very difficult to return a boys, and their parents accept. Their parents accept because we bring with us a paper coming from the government, from the Minister of the Justice, who tell them if these boys return to the Daras, this center are coming to keep you up and drop you in St. Louis, and you will be in the trial. You will be going in the judgment. So that's why it's an intimidated coming from the Minister of Justice, and that's why when we return boys, we intimidated with that paper, and they have to sign this paper to tell, okay, I received my boys, it's coming safe, and he not have to return to the Daras, because he was beaten by the marble, because he was on the streets for like 6 months, because something like that. And that's why parents don't really understand. They don't know what is when they send the boys. They forget that they send their children somewhere. They forget it. They can wait. Like if you ask sometimes boys, they will say, 5 years ago, I hear my parents when I left them. I hear my parents in like 7 years ago. They don't have a contact with their parents, and the Marabu sometimes don't have any contacts from the parents. Problem.
Uh,
So that's why it's very difficult to do an investigate to how are we going to return a boys. We if the Marabu say I don't know, I don't have any contact from the parents. Sometimes they tell you like that. I don't have any contact. If the
So,
parents
so,
will
so
think
what
it,
do you do? What do you do with those children that don't have anywhere else to go? They don't have anywhere else to go. Like what do you do for these children?
I never let a boys going out to the center if I don't have exactly the real response from the parents or from the marabout. I have
So,
a direct contact from the parents. I say, okay, you can let him go. If not, let him in the center. This is why I have 4 boys in my own house because they were so young, and now they grows with me, and now they are my families.
where does your motivation come from? I know you may have already talked about this earlier, but what is the thing in you that keeps propelling you to want to help these Talibe Street children and keep you focused?
Mm. The motivation is quite. It's inside. It's coming from my mom. So I told you at the beginning. I'm from Dakar, the capital, but I was living in the big family. My mom's have 12 kids around, 6 boys and 6 girls. We grew all together, and uh, in our family it was like opening. Uh, People outside was coming in the house, and at the end you cannot know who is in the family and who is not in the family. What our moms was helping us to share our life, to share foods, to share everything. When where we have sometimes Talibe is different, like Saint Louis. Talibe in Dakar was completely different. Talibe, when they was coming in the house and my mom saw you pushing the Talibans outside, it's done for you. You have to keep out your clothes to give it to the Taliban, and the Taliban, my mom was keeping the Taliban's clothes to give it to you. It was just how to learn about the life. The
Yeah.
situation can change anywhere. I can die. She was telling us, I can die too early. Your father can die too early, and you will be alone. Who is going to help you? So you have to, share.
Dalai Lama, he said that our prime purpose in this life is to help others. And if you
Yeah.
can't help them, at least don't hurt them. He said there's no exercise better for the heart than reaching down and lifting people up.
Hmm.
Does it
Yeah.
like that?
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah,
You understand. You really understand what I mean.
yeah, yeah. So I know you go through a lot of challenges with these things. So how do you get funding for your organization?
Exactly. Uh, um, some of the my friends around the world are helping me. First, uh, partner was just coming by exactly watching on a TV on documentary we did in the past, what we were doing, our action, but I was helping by most of the time people abroad, coming abroad, from Canada, from the US, from Spain. Most of the times I know some good people. I was so lucky to know all of them. I pray for them because they opened the way for the center. But the first, I was working and I was keeping my house to put it in. At the end, it was just like very expensive. As you know, it was so expensive to get food. It was so expensive to go at the hospital, and no one can help you here. And one day, a friend asking me, "Do you know organization around the world?" I say, "No, I don't know any." It was in 2009, 2010, I think, and she sent me a link coming from the United Nations, and the first I saw this, I say, oh, I can't do this. It was so big, it was so long to make an application. I say, "Yeah, this is how to get money. I will help you." And she helped me. and it was so positive. They give us an application. This is how it's coming to know the United Nations, to know European Union, to know Global Fund for Children, to know there's lots of organizations who are helping to get money every year, but still we are looking for a next couple of challenge to get another way to change situation. So now we just finished with Union. European Union. We just finished a program taking us like 4 years, 2016 to 2019. That will we are at the end now. It's almost done. So after that, that will be quite difficult to find a new program, because all this program did with us 7 years, 5 years, 4 years, and now the challenge is how are we going to keep going where we are at this moment. It's very big challenge. So now that's why I'm so stressed. I'm so, it's very important for me to keep going the center and try to find something who are going to autonomize us, because all the times asking. So we can find something where that will be a lucky system. We are in the lucky. Maybe it will be coming with Mr. Barry. Maybe it will become with another. But what we are looking for now is how are we going to have something here where we can grow the seeds, where we can do an activities, where we can do something who are going to bring money back from Senegal, and who are going to help the center to autonomize the center and going. And these people who are helping can also be invited, looking and how are we going this, because we have lots of boys, hundred of young boys between before and now it's 10 years, and now the boys who I was helping was 6-7 years old. So now they are 17 years old, 18 years old. So now they are looking something to do.
Yeah, that's fascinating.
Exactly.
So what are some of the? Can you list some of the organizations that help you? Can you do that?
United Nations helping us, Global Fund for Children helping us, Go Campaign helping us, European Union helping us, of Petit Pas from Spain helping us, Coopera from Spain helping us. Of there is huge.
Yeah.
10, most of the times 10 organizations helping us to be right where we are now.
Yeah. Of course, our future generation, our children, are so important to us. For someone listening right now, what can he or she do to either give or volunteer for your organization?
They can help by using the website, because in the website we have a door in the first page. We have a doors opening by make a gift, doing something like faire un don. They can click in this and open it, or they can send an email to ask by using info mdjsl.com. They can use info by sending an email, if they can, to ask what they can do, and we will reply quickly. If I don't reply, there's a partners from Canada who can reply very quickly, to tell them, to facilitate them how can they help, because we have 3 options. We have global giving, where you can send money. We have Canada help, where you can send money, and we have our own bank account, where you can use also to send money. But if you want to volunteer, also you can go in the website. There is a volunteers program where you can make your application, and be part of what we were doing. This is the different part of how people can go and use it to help Maison De La Gare in his program.
So when you go to the website, can you see all of this information, like how you can send money through Canada? What was the name again?
Uh, Canada help.
Canada Help or Global Help. Like when you go to the website, is there a place where you can see that? Is that just
Yeah,
is there a place?
exactly. You can go there and off quickly. You click in faire un don in French or make a gift in English, because the website is two parts. We have English and French,
Yeah,
but
I saw
you can
that. I
use
saw that.
both. And
Yes,
in the beginnings page, you can open it by doing a gift, and from there you can all this page will be open. It's facilitated to people who are living abroad, to facilitate them to do this application, and that will open quickly, and you can.
I say. I say. Great,
Mhm.
great, great. That's the name of the website. For those who are listening again, this is the website. For those who are watching, this is the website. It's on the screen right now. It's www.mdgsl.com. What is your future goal for
Okay.
Maison de la Gare?
Our future goal is uh, before 2025, we have to finalize with a program calling Village of the Kids. We are looking a place. It's about 10 hectares of land, and there is a place where we will have different activities. It's about a village where if boys are outside here in Saint Louis and we return them to their family and they don't want to stay, we return them to the village, and there will be 10 activities in the village, 10 activities, professional activities, of course. There will be a school in the village, there will be a dormitory in the village, there will be a sports in the village, everything will be in the village. But if they come in the village, they will not have, you know, possibilities to go out before they finish with their program. This is what we are up to at this moment. Our goal is how are we going to open this, and we already make the program. Now we are looking about money. We are looking about people who are coming, volunteers who are coming to build these possibilities, and also people who are coming to make a graphic, because uh, everything is the land is we find a land, but we need to get money to get this land, and possibility also is we can have a someone who can draw the land, who can make everything better. How are we going to make all this land, to use all the land with all possibilities? This is what we are looking for now, and most of the time we take 5 years to say, okay, it's final, it's done. But at this moment, our goal is how are we going to do that to eradicate it? Boys in Saint Louis, outside, street boys. We don't want to see any boys outside working in the market, working on the in the beach, working in the sea, and the fishing men everywhere. We don't want to see one boys in Saint Louis working for another one, like a man or an exploited. This is why we just want to keep going in this village to make it concrete before 2025. This is our goal.
Oh, very good, very good, very good goal, very good goal. So, have you started like that plan yet? So, your plan is to build like some sort of like a huge center in St. Louis, in the village of St. Louis, where these children that are going to be taken back to to their parents, they can have a place to do learn activities that is going to benefit them in their lives, but also they're going to have a place to sleep and
Hmm.
not feel uncomfortable. Right? Is that what you're doing?
Yeah,
Have you
this
have
is
you have
what we
you
have.
started building a place yet, or
No,
in the
we
work?
have the land now. We know where the land will be, but now what we are looking for is about money. It's about how are we going to get money to start it.
www.mdgsl.com. When you go there, you can get additional information and how you can help uh, Kuyate and his nonprofit organization. He is standing for a good cause, and this is very, very important, guys, for everyone listening. It would be a great thing to do if you really want to help the Talibe Street children in Senegal or in St. Louis, precisely, need your help. Donate, help, and do everything you can, to be part of like, a good cause. Now, this lead me to my next question. For someone listening and who lives in a different country, let's say somewhere in Africa or even in
Mhm.
Senegal, who wants to replicate similar organization because obviously they find it to be a very good cause, a very good
Mhm.
organization, a very good thing to to replicate. What are the different steps they need to follow to make it happen? Can you explain?
In everything, like helping, try to make something better. If you are just a chief and you want to sell something, you have to make a techniques. You have to work about. You have to trust yourself. Like I have to go tonight to do something, to sell something. You have to make a good situation in your mind. You have to, there is a possibilities about uh, doing by yourself, trusting yourself about what you were doing. Here is the first thing you need to have. Your mentality have to be rock. Your mentality have to be no change, man. I have to do this. I target to follow this way. I want to help people. I want to do this better than ever. I just want to make myself better in my mind first. This is what is going away because in your way going to help someone, that will be a wrong way who can push you in another situation, who can change your direction, who can you know uh, getting you slowly than you are not looking. All this way is about a labyrinth of wrong, good, everything is inside. But you have to target your way and just be concentrated in the way you want to do in the system that you are is in your mind. You pack it in your mind and say, I have to go again. If you broken down, just wake up and go again. Anytime you will feel like I will maybe before I arrive where I'm looking for the success, I have to broken down several times, but I will wake again and go. This force is inside, it's not outside. You don't have to follow, you don't have to hear, you don't have to listen people around, and just get your way and be stronger. The mentality is stronger than ever, and you will arrive. But trust yourself. Sometimes you can break down, but trust that you can wake up and go again. So trust on yourself and go again. Go ahead, and you will arrive. This is very similar that I'm doing. I can sleep like 2 hours, 3 hours a day, but tomorrow the people will say you will be so sick. Just get rest. It's the weekend. You have to do this, you have to do that, but don't do it. It's the weekend. I said, no, I have to do it before I take my weekend. If there is all the weekend that I can do it, it's a weekend off. But it's not off for me. It's a weekend of success because I help people around. If you help anyone, just one, if you help them, if you help just one little thing, and it's a success, you get stronger than ever. And this is how are you going to keep going and than ever. And I say to everyone who want to open something, be stronger and go ahead. Don't trust people around the city. Trust on yourself and go ahead. You
Very
will
good.
arrive
Very
one
great
day.
advice. Very great. Very great. So, in terms of like, uh, let's say physical, like mentally, that's the number one thing. Absolutely, I agree.
Yeah.
But like, what is the next step after that? Like, what do you have any other thing you can provide? You can give?
Uh, you have to do what you are doing by pleasure. If you don't have pleasure, you will never go, away. Doing with a great heart. You know, this is what is pushing me to do it again. I really like what I'm doing. If it's very hard to do it, but I really like it. I just want to do it because I like it. And every single day I want to do something that I really like. Every single day I just say I'm not if I'm in my house is I don't go out. What I have to do, I will give a call to someone who are very, uh, I don't know, who wants me to hear me. I just want to give a call, a Talibe. I just want to give a call, a friend who are staying long time without, hearing me. I just want to do something great. This is a pleasure to do it. Don't. So if you want to do something, by mentality is first, but stronger is inside and outside. Stronger is like something you need to have. And how are you going to have a stronger? It's by pleasure, doing something by pleasure. If you're doing by pleasure, you will get stronger than stronger. Because if it's a success, you will say, oh, finally done. I'm okay. So now it's step by step. You will build something step by step. You will see this thing that you're building is going. Oh, it's now. It's taking a form,
Yeah,
and
I
now,
agree. I completely agree, man. I agree. You
yeah,
know, mentality. You have to have the right mentality at all time. That is true, and also you have to have you have to have joy in doing it. Does it make you happy? If
exactly.
it makes you happy, then go for it.
Of course,
Yeah, but it's
it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure to talk about life. It's a pleasure to talk about you know helping people, helping each others, because the world look people like you who are very calm, very stronger in mind, and very pushing people who keep out what they have in their heart to telling to people around the world what they are feeling. It's a pleasure, and I'm proud to know who you are. It's just the end of the year, and it's a gift
the
coming
same
from
here.
God.
The same here. The same here, Isa. The same here. It is mutual. It is mutual. I feel a deep connection between you and I.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm very happy to to get this interview with you again, and for sparing your time. Thank you very much. As you know, Isa, on this show, before I end the interview, I have a segment called "Share Something About Yourself," where I ask my
Mm-hmm.
guest questions, personal questions. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay. Married or
Mhm.
single?
Married.
Oh, okay. Have
Yeah,
have
married.
children?
Yeah, three children, two boys and one girl.
Oh, wow. How old are they?
3, 2, and 1.
Nice, nice. Oh man, that's great. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Hey, tell them, hey, Tell them
Yeah.
Mamadou Barry said that their father is a good man.
Okay. I will definitely. New Year's is open.
Okay. Two adjectives to describe yourself.
Uh, I will try to ask my wife. Uh, she's here. I will introduce her, but I will. It's about. Here is my wife.
Hello, madam. How you doing? Good,
How are
good.
you?
Very good,
Sorry.
very good.
Mhm.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Okay.
And the
It's a good
stubborn
thing.
and determined.
Nice, nice. What is your
Mr.
favorite
Barry.
sport?
Favorite sport is football. I was playing football. I was playing professional football in Dakar,
Oh,
but my
okay.
legs,
So
my
what is your
legs go
favorite
wrong.
team? What is your favorite team?
In Senegal, my favorite team is Jeanne d'Arc, is Gia. My father was there playing football. But my favorite Mundial team is Barcelona.
Oh, okay. Oh, you're all right. I see. I see who you are. Okay. Okay. Good.
I
Good.
think
Good.
you are from Madrid. I think so.
Yeah, I'm not gonna argue with you right now. That's fine. Are you introvert or extrovert?
Sorry,
Are you introvert or extrovert?
introvert.
You're introvert.
Yeah.
You don't seem like it. What are you most passionate about in life?
My passion is the animals, about getting lots of animals like goat, sheep, uh, in the nature, going with them, you know, like a nomad with animals, working, living in the nature. This is what I'm passionate. I think when I retire, I will try to find a land and getting there goats and sheep and cow all together in the farms. And this is my passion. Right now, I have some goats and no sheep, not goats, sheep, and I grow them. Every 6 months, they make a new bones, so I keep going with them.
Nice,
I start with just 2 or 3, so now there are 16 in just 2 years now.
nice,
This is my passion. My passion is giving food to feed them and to let them grow. This is my passion.
nice, nice. So if you died tomorrow,
Hmm.
what would be your greatest accomplishment?
Uh, if I die tomorrow, my really good accomplishment will be people behind me will, just go ahead with what I let here, the center. I don't want this center get stopped because I died. I just want this center go and make a new center around Senegal and outside.
Good, good. If you could change one thing about yourself, what will it be?
Nothing.
Okay. Have you ever doubted your religion?
No.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you, Isa, for a great interview. I do appreciate you. Thank you for sharing all this wonderful information.
You're welcome, Mr. Barry.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
It
You're
was a
welcome.
pleasure
It's a
talking
pleasure.
with you.
It was mutual. Thanks to my guest Isa Kuyate. Thanks for you for listening. Visit his website at www.mdgsl.com. Once again, www.mdgsl.com. The Barry Media Show takes you places that you have never imagined. Please leave a review. It will definitely help. You can find me on Instagram at Barry Medias. Thanks once again. Until then, ciao. Thank you.